I remember the time when I ain't had shit. It was a time I was down bad on my ass, bitch. Now you see me stunned with this cash, bitch. Getting money. When I was younger, I ain't have it. This a true story, true story.
You know, I gotta be honest with you. I don't know if I'm gonna go through. I didn't say nothing. I didn't. Let's back up and do it again. I don't know if I'm going to be able to record this whole reaction in one take. But let's get it. Oh my God! Okay, let's go. Stop! No. What's the title of this? Oh, another quarantine. Oh, this is the animated jump. Okay.
I've been staying in my apartment in Jersey City during this coronavirus epidemic.
Right.
My roommate has since gone home to Ohio to stay with her family during all of this.
Okay.
So I've been in the apartment alone. I've been mostly just watching new movies and shows. I try not to go out too much because my city is pretty bad right now.
And getting one off.
A couple days ago, I was running extremely low on food, so I had to make a mandatory grocery run. I went to the nearby Trader.
Was that my trip? Whoa. Okay, never mind. Was that cashier always there? Maybe I'm tripping. Anybody that has loose, cut, spread out apples in the refrigerator, you're sus. Excuse me. Just saying.
I was wearing a mask and gloves, which, including the insane line and limited stock, turned out to be a production. On my walk home in the dark, I realized the streets were even quieter than they were the last time I went shopping.
Hella sus.
Suddenly, out from an alleyway, some guy wearing a mask and gloves approached me. He had a baby wrapped in a hoodie and small blanket in his hands. He seemed very sincere in asking me to let him take his son to my apartment real quick so he could change his diaper and feed him his food.
Wait a minute. Okay. I think I reacted to this. This sounds very familiar. Is this just like the animated version of... This sounds very familiar. I'm pretty sure I reacted to this story. No, wait, how many stories is this? The first story. But I think I reacted to it like not as an animated one, like I don't know how to explain it, but I think I'm reacting to the animated version of this story, which is basically the same. I'm reacting to the same story. I didn't know that. I don't know. I kind of already started it, but I don't know what I should do. I don't know. Well, hell, I already started it, so I just want to let y'all know that I'm pretty sure I reacted to the first story. I don't know if I reacted to the the other two stories, because I haven't gotten it. I haven't, gotten there yet, but I'm pretty sure I reacted to the first story, so don't hold me on it. I didn't know that. Oh, if there's I'm hot. That's why I look kind of rough right now. But there's a Mr. Nightmare video out there that you all want me to react to. That I have never reacted to before, whether that's just like a regular video from Mr. Nightmare or an animated version of the story. Let me know that in the comment section below, because reacting to a story, and then the animated version of that story is basically the same thing. It's just different. It's a different type of video. I don't know it's a different version of it. We're still the same story. But yeah, I feel weird. I really feel weird reacting to this, but let's just go.
He swore to me that he was clean and that he really needed this favor for just 5 minutes.
Whole bunch of
And
bullshit.
it was an emergency. Hearing the baby's little cries, and the fact that this man even had a child with him and just seemed sincere, the soft part of me agreed.
I can't do this. I can't. This is weird, bro. It's like it's a fake reaction. I don't know how to. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm reacting to the same story. Like, this is the same story. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's different. I'm hot. I'm so hot.
It was only a short walk from there. We walked up the 3 stories to my apartment, and I let him inside, asking him to close the door behind him. I cleared a spot on the living room table for him to change his child's diaper and whatever.
There go the 2 apples that was in the
It was
refrigerator.
like pacing around, or more like snooping around, I guess. He went into my kitchen to do God knows what. I called over to him that I set up the table for him to use. He didn't answer. I started getting confused. I walked to the kitchen and saw him looking around suspiciously. And what else I saw confused me. The man was standing with what I thought was his child, held in only one hand. It took me a second to understand. It wasn't a child. It was just some baby doll wrapped up in a blanket. I'm assuming one of those realistic ones that make the crying and moaning noises. The man looked at me and pulled out a gun from his right pocket. That's where things went from 1 to 100 real quick.
Oh, yeah?
He looked at me with a gun aimed at me.
Yeah. And that's when I went from standing right here in front of you with the gun to being in California within 6 seconds.
Something along the lines of, I'm gonna take what I want and you're gonna stay in my sight. Of course, I had to say okay with a gun aimed at my head. I wondered if it could be a BB gun with a tip painted black, but even if it was, I doubted I could overpower him. I couldn't risk it. The man pulled out a big black bag from his backpack and filled it with valuables, including my wallet, some of my roommate's jewelry, kitchen valuables, my brother's Xbox, which he lent me, and my iPad. It was sickening to watch, but I was the most scared of him pulling the trigger of that gun. He filled his bag and threw the fake baby in it as well.
That's weird.
I called the cops first thing. They came and helped me in contacting the building owner to see the CCTV footage from the halls. Of course, upon seeing the footage, it didn't help much. The man's face was covered by a mask, making it near impossible to even discover who he was. All I could do was urge everyone to be careful, not to trust anyone, and stay indoors until all this is over.
It's gonna be for a while. Sure did. I hope I didn't react to this.
I was taking a road trip in my Mustang from Texas to Arizona to visit my brothers.
That sounds familiar.
I usually keep emergency supplies in the trunk, such as water and tools.
Yeah.
I was taking, I guess, what you would call a scenic back route, because I liked flying at high speeds with the top down without worry of other cars or police. This was one of those completely deserted seeming roads with one lane on either side, and nothing but desert sand, cacti, and shrubs as far as the eye can see.
I would love to drive on a road like that, just so I can speed like a mother clucker. But then again, no, I wouldn't, because what if something clucked up happens? You know, I'm clucked. Like, there's nobody within miles. Because I love speeding. I love speeding. And it doesn't help that I have a stick shift. So that makes it so much more better. I love stick shift. If anybody knows how to really drive a stick shift, let me know that in the comment section below because that's awesome. I don't ever want to go back to a regular automatic ever. Like I love stick shift. I love it. Like I want my next car and my future cars to be stick shift. All of them to be stick shift. And one of my friends or girlfriend or wife at the time, right, wants to learn the stick shift, they're gonna have to learn from somebody else. Or give me a car. Now don't use not my car. Don't use my car. Cause you cluck up my clutch, it's a wrap. You might as well get a whole new car. You're not about to learn on my shit. You fuck up my shit. Nope, you got all of that. I'll be pissed. Because it's easy. It's so easy to mess up a clutch. But yeah, I think I learned. Oh, okay. I'm showing so many thighs and legs. No, there you go. All right, okay. Well, obviously, you all know what happened. My phone died. No, it didn't die. It was just I need more space on my phone, so I'm using the camera on my laptop to finish the rest of this recording, this reaction. But I think I learned stick shift within a week, something like that. It was very short. I mean, I got it, but the only thing that really took me a while to master and I still is if I'm still iffy on it is driving on a very steep no okay, being on a hill on an incline, right, and you're at a dead stop and then you go, because with a manual, right, if you're on a hill of some sort, it's gonna, depending on if it's down or if the hill is decline or incline, your car is gonna move. So that's still a fear of mine because there's some very, very steep hills. And my car, as soon as I let go of that brake, I know I gotta press that gas. Cause my car would sure enough go back. You better hope and pray the person that's behind me is not tailgating. Cause I promise you, I cannot talk. I might come close to hitting your car. So yeah, let's get back to the reaction.
I was flying down this road when the car started to emit these concerning popping noises from under the hood, and the car started to jolt or jump slightly. I put a heavy foot on the brakes to bring the car from a speeding 90 miles per hour to a less than gradual halt. I got out from the car, popping the hood, pretending as if I'd even know what to expect or how I'd go about fixing it. There was no smoke, nothing like that, but I didn't have a clue what could be the problem. I got back in my car to try and start it, and as I feared, the damn thing wouldn't even start back up now. The car was an '01 Ford Mustang, so yeah, it was an old car with its share of problems. Naturally, I tried to call my roadside service company, but bad became worse, realizing I didn't have any service this far out in the desert.
Of course.
I was more or less stranded. I hadn't seen a single other car pass me that whole hour I was driving on that road. I was scared to think how long it would take for someone to pass. I waited on the side of the road, sitting on my car's trunk for literally hours, sweating my ass off. My spirits rose when I saw the shine of a car reflecting the sunlight speeding down the road in the horizon. I hopped off my trunk and started walking and waving my arms out for help. But the car didn't stop. It zoomed past me. Pure evil. I didn't know how somebody could leave another human being stranded like that. Nightfall came and the hunger was setting in. No cars had passed since the first, and I was trying to fill my stomach with the water bottles I had in my trunk. Eventually, I saw headlights approaching. I had my car's hazards on, but I also waved my arms once more. The truck pulled to the side, and a fairly large man stepped out.
Sus.
I told him my car broke down and asked if he knew anything about cars. But he didn't immediately seem interested in my car. He more so seemed interested in asking me if I was alone, where I was going, and why I didn't just call for help.
Wow.
And he asked me if anyone knew I was here.
Wow.
These questions were certainly making me uncomfortable. He finally offered me a ride. Though if he was trying to make a point of making me uncomfortable, he accomplished that. I stepped up into his pickup truck, and off we started driving. He said it would be a long while before either of us would have phone service. He started asking me more questions, like why I would decide to take a back route like this. Minutes in, the truck started to slow down, and I heard him mutter, "Ah, shit." He pulled onto the sand on the side of the road, looked at me, and said the piece of crap broke down. This couldn't be happening. I looked back at the man and realized he was still looking at me. Like 5 seconds went by and he was just still staring at me.
Wow.
He finally asked me to go lift up the hood once he would crank the latch. I can only describe this whole situation so well, but through everything up until this point, I was insanely suspicious. I went in front of his truck with a bit of distance between the front and I, and waited to hear a click, meaning the truck's hood was unlatched. In my head, I was picturing him trying to run me over, and that's exactly what happened. As I took one step towards the truck to try and open the hood, I heard the roar of the engine as the man was on the gas. I dove for my life. If I reacted half a second later, I'd have lost my legs or instantly been killed. I took off running into the pitch black night, looking back to see the taillights still there. And then this. Gunshots. Surely gunshots aimed at me.
I forgot about that.
That man was trying to kill me. It was too dark out there for him to possibly shoot me dead without some kind of luck, but I thought I was going to die at any moment. I heard a truck speeding off in the distance, so I turned and saw the taillights of the truck slowly disappearing down the empty road. I eventually fell asleep on the side of the road, and the nightmare didn't end until early morning, when I woke up to another pickup truck passing by. I waved them down, covered in dirt and sand.
Them bitches look like they can be his parents. Like the guy that picked him up, like in the first pickup truck. Why am I looking? Oh, I forgot. Sorry. I did that last time. Them bitches, yeah, like I said, them bitches look like they can be his parents. Of the guy that picked him up in the first pickup truck. You know, and I think I said this, in the other video, like in the other story, like the original story. Or the original video of this, I don't know. You saw somebody in the pickup truck, right? Got into the pickup truck, motherfucker tried to kill you, right? Cool. You see another, why the fuck would you trust another pickup truck? I would not do that. I would not trust no pickup trucks, no nothing at this point in time. You better just hope and pray. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. That's all I'm saying.
Thank God this man was actually normal. He and his wife. They gave me water and drove me to the nearest town where I was able to call the towing company. It was a 45-minute drive back to my car on that goddamned road, then that same distance back to bring it into a shop. Long story short, this was the worst trip and experience of my life. Having someone try to run you over and then shoot at you isn't something you simply get over.
Yeah.
When I was 19, my friend Sean, who was a big goofball, came over to chill in our basement as he often would during the summer. I remember he had a Coke bottle in his hand and I was eating Wendy's when he said we should check out that creepy little cemetery across town. It was the most random idea ever, and I even told him that. Still, we had no school the next day, and I knew exactly which cemetery he was talking about. I don't know if one should even call it a regular cemetery.
Why the fuck can we just... Why do we always have to do some bullshit? Some cluck shit every time I come over here, Alex. I don't know if that's his name. I just called him that. Every time I come over here, we on some cluck shit, bro. Like, bruh, come on, man. Why can't we just do some non-cluck shit? Like, go to sleep or some shit. I don't know. Fuck. I'm trying to get some ice.
Just a small plot of land with maybe 100 tombstones at most.
Wow.
The tombstones very archaic looking, and any time you'd pass, there would be no signs of anyone having come to visit within the last decade. The site probably dated back centuries, and it had this super creepy vibe to it because it was closed off by a gothic metal fence.
Wow.
And it was surrounded by woods on two sides, the road on one, and some old abandoned building on the other. Everything about it just gave scary vibes. It took a little persuading, but Sean managed to get me to want to check it out too.
Fuck you.
Ironically, it was a very cloudy, wettish kind of day. I guess conveniently adding to the mood.
Excuse me.
Sean pulled up his Honda to the side of the road.
A Honda?
I told him to pull up more so it wasn't obvious.
Hell no.
This was a low-traffic road, so it would look kind of suspicious. He pulled up a few hundred feet down the road, and we got out and cut through the woods so that any potential passing traffic wouldn't see us entering the little cemetery. Hopping the fence in the woods was easy. It was maybe a 3 or 4 foot fence. Sean kind of took the lead on this since it was mainly his venture. He led us through the eerie little plot of land, and we looked at the archaic tombstones. They all seemed to be from the 19th century. The writing on some of them was illegible at that point. I know it sounds super dumb and cliche, but I couldn't help but feel like I was being watched constantly.
Yeah.
I started looking around the surrounding woods. I told Sean how creepy this was. I know, he replied. Still, with the feeling of being watched, I looked at the abandoned building next to the cemetery.
Wow.
At one of the windows. For a brief moment, I knew I saw someone standing at the window, even through the fog, smudge, and dirt on the glass. But they casually either ducked or walked away from the window. I told Sean we were being watched by someone in that building, and he turned to look at it as well. Then he went to look for the entrance to it. I told him don't. I said we should just leave before we get in trouble. I stayed still by the tombstone he was looking at while he walked around the building, and then he found a way in. He called me over, but I stayed put. Then I heard some loud kind of crack. So I looked in that direction, and there was this older man, probably around 55. Gray hair, had on a black raincoat, I believe he was wearing jeans, and he had a mustache, but that's all I really got of him. Then he opened his mouth and screamed, not just yelled, he screamed, "Get out."
Okay, enough said.
He screamed it so loud, I thought I saw birds fly away from being startled.
Jesus.
And just like that, I started to feel lightheaded, and suddenly everything went dark. The next thing I remember was waking up to being dragged in the woods. I freaked out, thinking I was being kidnapped. But when I turned and got up, I saw it was just Sean. Sean was freaking out about something.
You said that like you pretty sure. You said, I opened my eyes and looked at and it was just Sean. You said just Sean, like you pretty sure, like you 100% sure that this mother clucker Sean is not in cahoots with the old Dusty sus mother clucker. How do you know that? Huh? How well do you know Sean? He can be working with this mother. You don't know. Even best friends don't tell each other everything.
To follow him and run back to the car, so I didn't ask questions. As we ran through the woods, I heard something close behind me, and when I turned, I realized we were being followed by someone, so I ran even faster. We got to his Honda, and he basically put it in drive before the car even had a chance to fully start. When Sean was inside that abandoned building, he found a sigil of Baphomet painted on the wood floor, which is basically the sign of Satan. Around it were a bunch of freaky dolls with buttons for eyes. He didn't get to see anything else in the building, because he heard the old man scream at me outside. He came running to find me passed out on the floor, and he saw the old man slowly walking over to me. He started to drag me away from the old man and into the woods. He actually literally picked me up and threw me over the fence to get me out. I quickly came back to consciousness, and that's when we ran. I had only fainted one time in my life, and it was at that moment. I don't know why I fainted, but it happening at a graveyard with some kind of satanic ritual building right next to it makes it that much stranger.
You probably fainted because you was getting possessed, or it was just so much cluck shit going on all around you that your body, and all that could not take it. So you passed out, which would make sense. There's not much I need to say because I reacted to all of these videos. I reacted to all three of these videos. Not these specific videos, but I reacted to the stories of these videos. This is my first time reacting to the animated version of the stories, but I've reacted to the stories already. So yeah, there's not much for me to say because I already said how I felt about the videos when I reacted to the original video of these. I mean, the original stories of these. But I do want to say, if there's a video, I mean, like I said before, like, if there's a video that you all want me to react to of Mr. Nightmare, or if Mr. Nightmare made a new video, but I reacted to the story already, like with these 3 animated stories, like if I would have known that, I would have never reacted to the animated stories. Because I'm reacting to the same story. It's just a different version of the story, which sucks. I don't like doing that because I'm reacting to the same story. Like, it's pointless. And I gotta be honest with you. Like, I felt weird reacting to all 3 of these videos. But like, I promise you, like, if I would have known that I reacted to these stories already, I would have never reacted to the animated stories. But please let me know. Either tweet me or DM me or something like that. Letting me know that, hey, he made an animated version or a re-upload or something of some stories that you already reacted to. But if you want to react to, the animated stories, then go ahead. But just be mindful that you already reacted to these stories before. It's just an animated version of it. Let me know, because I don't want to waste my time. I don't. Because I feel like I'm wasting my time. Like, I already reacted. I'm not mad or anything. I am mad. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to keep it a stack. I'm not mad. I'm like, bruh, I could have been done in editing the other Mr. Nightmare video, but I just wish I would have known that it was based on it's the same story. It's just animated. But please let me know that next time. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy, my family.